I'm 28 and honestly feel so far behind in life. I've been unemployed for about 4 years now, which sounds absolutely crazy. It's been filled with so many days and late nights where I had no direction in my life. I watched other people get ahead of me and I felt pretty worthless. But it did teach me something that I wasn't quite ready for: how I see time. How did I even get here at 28? Well, last year I was on the train back home from work and I received a message to call regarding my placement role. And when I got home, I joined the call and I was told that my placement will no longer be continuing. It was only 8 days in, but my whole world came crashing down in that moment and my life completely changed. I had spent more than 2 years building myself, doing courses, and training and networking with other people, only to be unemployed again. And that really sucked. I was only 27 at the time, but when I saw other people getting ahead and I was stuck still trying to start my career, it stung quite a lot. Oddly enough, I kind of felt relieved. After the dust and everything had settled, I was relieved to be unemployed again. And I guess it's because I knew the freedom that I would have and that I could focus my time on things that I actually enjoy doing. But I was trading it for the one currency I knew that I couldn't get back, which was my time. And each day and each month that was going by, I was just delaying myself getting into employment that much longer. And it was only a matter of time until the next thing would come along and make me feel pretty shit about my situation. So on Monday, I went to university to meet someone in the afternoon. And when I was there, I saw all of these people gathering on campus. And I was wondering what's going on here. And it was graduation, and I saw all of these young graduates wearing their gowns and they were there with their families. They were taking videos and pictures of that moment. They were really enjoying themselves. And when I saw this, I started to feel sad. Actually, I was feeling sad about my situation, and I was getting reminded of the time that I graduated, which was actually when I was 24, and I felt bitter about that because many people graduate a lot younger. And it wasn't even in the summer, it was later on because I had to resit my exams. And I felt like I let my family down, you know, and I was thinking about the mistakes that I had made as well. Because if I had done everything properly at the right time, then I wouldn't have had to graduate later, and I probably would have done everything in the time that I felt it should have been done, and I wouldn't have been behind. With this experience and many other ones, I realized there was a deeper issue which I was falling into the trap of, and something I've been doing for years. So, a few weeks ago, I went to the gym to work out in the afternoon, and in between my sets, I usually like to see how other people do their workouts and how they interact with one another. And in my gym, there's a lot of younger people that come there. And oftentimes when I see them, they're having a really good time. They're socializing, they're having their conversations, they're laughing. And in particular, what I notice is, now, I don't know how old these guys are. I'm just taking a rough guess, but some of them look like they're younger than me, or maybe the same age as me. I don't know exactly. And they have built a pretty good body for themselves. Their physique looks quite good. And immediately I think back to my younger years, and I started working out when I was 18. I knew shit about nutrition, what it meant to work out properly, and the value of consistency. And I'm 28 now, and I think to myself, like, the body that I have, I probably could have had that when I was in my early 20s. I would have saved like 6, 7 years of my time. And the gym is another place where I start seeing people that remind me of how far behind I am, not even only in the gym sense, it's other aspects of my life as well. And so I noticed a larger issue which I was falling into the trap of was the fact that I kept comparing myself to other people. And this honestly ruined moments of my life, like even back in school days. And the main thing that the comparison was doing to me is that it was making me match my timeline to other people's. You know that saying, like, don't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. Well, that's exactly what I was doing. And I've had to really coach myself into thinking that everyone has a different timeline. Everyone achieves their goals at a different rate, and everyone does things at a different time. And everyone has different circumstances. I mean, my life is so different to all of these other people. So at one point, I thought to myself, like, come on, I have a choice now. I could either let these comparisons and all of these past experiences hold me back and make me regret falling behind even more, or I could make the most of my time now and try to move forward. And I decided to choose the latter. And so last year, it was in June, I decided to buy myself a 3D printer. Now, I'm naturally creative, so it would be nice to put that skill towards something useful. So I had to learn a bit of 3D modeling and get my hands dirtier. And when I did create some of the things that I thought were fun to create, it felt really empowering knowing that I'm using the skill to make things that actually bring joy and excitement to me. And this is another example of like a piece that I created. It was a few weeks ago, we were doing houseworks, and I took the measurements of this and I decided to design it and just 3D print it. And even if I'm not using it all the time, and to be honest, I don't use it that much, but if randomly I decide that I have this random motivation to get up and make something, then it's just right on my desk and I can make anything however I feel. Now, another thing I notice about time is that it's gonna pass by anyways. Whether I decide to do something or not, it's just gonna pass by. So YouTube is another thing that I decided to pick up on. I actually picked it up while I was unemployed, and honestly, in the beginning, it was so uncomfortable. I didn't know what good lighting meant or what it meant to speak to the camera properly. And this is a skill that I've been trying to develop over time. And it was very messy in the beginning, but along the way, I have learned a few things like video editing, and I guess getting out of my comfort zone and putting myself out there forced me to try out different things and definitely improve my speaking skills a little bit more, because that's something that I've really been trying to focus on. Now, if there's anything that I've learned about time, is that it waits for no one. And with that, I've really decided to start focusing a bit more on my mental health. Now, a few weeks ago, the World Cup was happening, and I thought that I want to really spend some time to relax and watch the games with my family. And I knew that in that time I wouldn't really be getting much work done. And so I thought to myself that it's okay. If I don't get any work done, it's okay. For I know it's only going to last for a little while, but if I decide to take out time to enjoy with my family watching football, it's really not the biggest deal in the world, is it? I'm also been using this to try focusing on my physical health, because one of the things that happens when I use screens so much, I strain my eyes, they start to go a bit red. And that's something I want to kind of prevent, because it is an indication that I'm not really focusing on my physical health so much. So with that, I'm also using it to focus on other aspects of my mental health as well. And honestly, I've not got it all figured out. I mean, I do relapse sometimes, and I do end up comparing myself. For example, when I scroll on my phone. But if time has taught me anything, maybe I'm not as late as I think I am. What's more important is that I'm aware of where I'm spending my time and I'm trying to move forward with my life, even if it's one small step.